She changed the world with a single idea: planting trees. But her fight was not just against deforestation, it was against poverty, corruption, and inequality. This is the story of Professor Wignar Maathi, environmental warrior, human rights activist, and the first African woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize. Wignar Maathi was born in 1940, in the lush green highlands of Nairobi, Kenya. Growing up in a farming family, she learned early about the deep connection between people and the land. She saw the life-giving power of trees, and later, she would see what happens when they disappear. In the 1940s and 50s, Kenya was still under British colonial rule. Opportunities for education, especially for girls, were rare. But Wigngari's brilliance and determination set her apart. She attended local schools and excelled, eventually earning a scholarship to study in the United States through the Kennedy Airlift Program. In 1964, Wignar graduated from Mount St. Scholastica College in Kansas with a degree in biological sciences. She later pursued a Master of Science degree from the University of Pittsburgh, where she first encountered the concept of environmentalism and social activism. But Wignar wanted more than personal success. She returned to Africa, determined to use her knowledge to transform lives. She earned a PhD in veterinary anatomy from the University of Nairobi in 1971, becoming the first woman in East and Central Africa to earn a doctorate. She didn't stop there, she became the first female chair of a department and the first associate professor in her field in the region. While working with rural women, Wignar noticed a common problem: streams were drying up, soil was eroding, and firewood was scarce. The root cause? Massive deforestation. She realized that environmental destruction was linked to poverty, hunger, and even political instability. In 1977, Wignar founded the Green Belt movement, a simple but revolutionary idea: empower women to plant trees. These trees provided shade, food, and firewood, but they also restored ecosystems and gave women a source of income and dignity. Over time, this grassroots initiative grew into a continental force. Women across Kenya planted trees on farms, schools, and church grounds. To date, the Green Belt movement has planted over 50 million trees, changing landscapes and lives. But Wigngari's fight was not easy. She challenged powerful interests, corrupt politicians who grabbed forest land, developers destroying ecosystems. She was beaten, jailed, and vilified. Yet she never gave up. She understood that protecting the environment was not just about trees, it was about justice, democracy, and human rights. She became a symbol of resistance in Kenya, inspiring a generation to fight for a greener, fairer future. The Green Belt movement became a Pan-African initiative. Countries like Tanzania, Uganda, Malawi, Lesotho, Ethiopia, and Zimbabwe adopted similar programs. Wignar trained over 40 leaders from across Africa to replicate her model. She also championed global causes like the Jubilee 2000 campaign, which called for cancelling crippling debts of poor nations. She served on numerous international boards and spoke at the United Nations, reminding the world that peace and the environment are inseparable. In 2004, Wignar Maathi received the Nobel Peace Prize, the first African woman to do so. The committee recognized her work in sustainable development, democracy, and peace. Her message was clear: you cannot protect human rights without protecting the environment. Throughout her life, Wignar earned dozens of awards, honorary degrees, and international honors. But her greatest legacy is the movement she started, proving that one woman, armed with an idea, can change the world. Professor Wignar Maathi passed away in 2011, but her roots run deep. Every tree planted, every life touched, is a tribute to her vision. Her story is a reminder that the fight for a better world begins with small acts like planting a single seed.